Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show where I'll be doing technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please hit that like button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, if you want to go and support my channel and you want to get the daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, long term and short term, definitely check out the link down below in the description for Patreon. So the CPI came out yesterday. Market was up. Today PPI came out and it's pretty much up, slightly up to flat, in line, the CPI and also PPI, but the market does not care. Again, you can see right on my screen, Trump denies that he plans to fire Powell. Highly unlikely. Looks like the line came out of somebody else's video here, guys. I mean, it just, what's happening with Trump and Powell just going back and forth. He's not resigning and Trump's not firing him, but these messages or tweets are coming out right and left. Now, what the market did today, well, you can see Dow rallied today up just over 0.5%. Nasdaq was up also 0.25%. S&P was up 0.32%, and Russell going up 1%. 11 sectors. What do we have here? Well, healthcare leading the way on top, even though UNH just dumping. Real estate also leading the way, financial, industrials, and then we have energy lagging behind and technology right in the middle. Stock market map. What do we have here on stock market map? Well, Nvidia, after that news came out yesterday, it gapped up and still up quite a bit, passing $4 trillion market cap and taking the big names like AMD and some of the other names with the stock and everything pretty much going to a brand new all-time high, including the market itself, especially Nasdaq 100 yesterday. Microsoft flat, Apple up 0.5%, Amazon was down today 1.40%, Google up half, and Meta down 1%, and Tesla up whopping 3.5% today. So, where is the market going from here? We need to talk about it, and we're going to start with Tesla today. All right, so Tesla stock is up 3.5%, massive rally today, and looks like it's getting that move just over that 50-day moving average. It's sitting right on that 50-day 322. If we can go past that tomorrow, you're going to see a move up to 330 and possibly up to even 350. Whales are targeting 350 calls on Tesla, so it might go there. Now, we do have earnings coming out on Tesla very soon, as a matter of fact, next week. So keep an eye on that. To the downside, Tesla. Now, these moving averages will act as a support, and there will be support at 316. Then we have support down here at 310, and then flat 300 down to 289, and then 280. On Apple stock, it's up 0.5%. So you can see yesterday, just like I said, yesterday we saw that attempt of a breakout and it failed. Today, again, it was there. Almost got up to 212, 213, but at the end came back and closing over right here, 13-day moving average, which is sitting at 209.43. And technically, if you look at my screen, and if you look at this trend line here, we did close over that. Now we got a doji type of candle, so indecision candle, we'll see what decision buyers and especially Apple stock makes tomorrow. If this thing is able to hold over 210.29, and especially right here, this breakout that took place today, then we might see that move, especially up to 221 and possibly closing this entire gap. Now, on its way to 221, you can see a bunch of rejection here before, right here, so that 215-ish right here has to break. But so far, we're not there. That's another $5 move to the upside. We have seen that before right here, but huge rejection and then came back and just consolidating inside this wedge. So we will see how that plays out tomorrow if this thing is able to make that big move to close that gap before earnings, which is coming end of the month. Now, if this thing falls below that 209 support right here to this 5-day moving average, 209 to 210 right here, you can see these two moving averages, and especially top of this wedge right here, 209 gives up, it'll come back down to 207. Then we have support a rising 20-day moving average, 206. So the trend is up. I mean, you can see we got the cross over the 50, the 20-day crossed over 50, and it's nicely holding up here. The question here, is it going to break out and make new highs just like Microsoft, Nvidia, and some of the other ones, or we're going to see more consolidation on Apple stock before that big move. And I think I gave you guys this week the time. So far we got this mini breakout here, but we need more confirmation of that breakout that it can hold, and the price needs to go over especially this high right here, that is 215 216, and that's going to be a bullish indication for possibly more upside here on Apple stock. On AMD, it's up 2.87%. So a couple days ago, I even said that in my video and even on my Patreon group that AMD has the potential to go up and close that gap at 158. And boy, oh boy, did we get that today, guys. Closing over that gap, and now it's at 160. So AMD definitely, high volume buying today. And this thing is still quite a bit off from all-time highs. So AMD, can it go even higher? Absolutely can. The next stop would be that 174 range, but it's getting a little bit frothy and overextended. Now, all you have to do, watch AMD for a potential pullback down here to close the gap from yesterday right here, 147.58. So I would say 148 right here, and top of this range. As long as we get that pullback and it's over that range, this thing heading back up to possibly 174 and maybe even higher. On Meta, it's down 1%, and we did not close the gap fully today. So 699, that is the gap here on Meta, and looks like it's just turning back. And this could be, guys, this could be a double top on the daily time frame, even on the weekly time frame. So keep an eye on that. If we cannot get over this high, this would be considered a double top, but also we need to take out this low down here, which is far away from where it's trading right now, which is over 700. So the neckline has to break, and we are just nowhere near the neckline. So here on Meta, two things can happen. Could be a significant breakdown to close this, a bunch of gaps to the downside, at least, 2-3 gaps. I'm not saying it's going to come down here immediately, or this thing just giving us a dip, just like it did right here, and this could be another. You can see it's pretty much a wedge, a type of pattern. It closes this gap at 699, finds support. It can definitely push higher, back up to previous all-time highs again. So Meta here, this is going to be your key line in the sand for next few sessions until Friday, 699. Below that, 682, 664. We do have earnings coming up end of the month here on Meta, so that could be a big catalyst for this stock to move possibly closer to 1,000. And I know it sounds crazy, but there's a lot of good news around Meta. Lots of things are happening, and if this thing does not break down, significantly, this might be a dip. But would I be chasing this? Absolutely not. And even if I'm playing this, which I'm not really interested, at 700, you got to be really careful trading this, because if this thing breaks below 699, you should be exiting and waiting for the stock to settle and see where the stock finds the bottom, and then you should go back in. Now, if this thing holds right here, like I said, it's wedging or flagging, whatever you want to call it right here, it can definitely break out. And if it does, you're going to see a close move. Now, there will be resistance at 15. If we get over that level, 725, and then previous all-time highs, which is going to be right here, to even that 747 right here, that range we just hit just a couple days ago on Meta. On Netflix, going down 0.79%, and they do have earnings tomorrow night, so that's going to be a big one to watch. So no matter what I say here today, it does not really matter how the price will react to that earnings tomorrow night. So here on Netflix, only thing I can say, 1270 breaks where we got a rejection today, then it's heading higher back up to 1300. If we cannot get that break over 1270, it can pull back possibly down here to this 50-day moving average, which is sitting at 1223, and then flat 1200 also possible on Netflix. But earnings expected move, that's going to be a big one to watch tomorrow. It could be 50, 60, 70 bucks on Netflix, or maybe even more than that. On Amazon, stock is down 1.40%, so the Prime Day is over, and just like I said, it's pulling back a little bit here on Amazon, but nothing significant. It's still holding around that 224, 223 range, and holding right on top of this 13-day moving average. So 223 gives up the next support at 219, and then 216 down to 212, and then we have this gap at 210. But so far this thing is able to hold and produced another higher high in this trend count yesterday. So if this thing is able to hold right here, we might see a push back up to 230. And I think it might just go there, guys. I mean, look at this trend right here. We have a bull trend. All the moving averages are positive, sloping to the upside, and it's just a matter of time this thing can make it up to 230 unless we get some sort of a big down day in the market. Then this thing will likely to pull back and possibly close this gap at 210. So Google got that initial breakout over these highs right here where I was considering this could be a double top. Now it's not anymore. We're trading over that 182 range, and even today 185 came and it can go up to 188, and at some point you're going to see, guys, 200 plus on Google. Also, we do have earnings coming out. I think it's next week on Google, so keep an eye on that. I think that's Tuesday. That's going to be a big one to move the market. Also, I mean, last few earnings from Google was not that great. So, this one, I'm pretty sure everybody's watching this earnings right here. So 181, 182 key line in the sand. Below that 179, 176. If this thing is able to hold over these rejection areas where now it's holding 181 to 182, it can push up to 185 and possibly even higher to 188. And then we can talk about more upside and massive gap at 204. On Microsoft, it's absolutely flat on the day. So new money long, there is absolutely no opportunity. As a matter of fact, guys, I mean, you're probably seeing I'm not posting video and a lot of trade ideas because I'm taking a little break from the market. Just not doing anything. I'm not on vacation, nothing, just relaxing and watching the market. And why? I mean, you guys let me know in the comment section. Do you think this market is tradable right now? It's absolutely pathetic. Especially, people like me that trade big stocks all the time in the big names like these mega caps. Where are the opportunities? It's not there. The only thing we have is Apple, and I'm in Apple. I'm holding, my shares, my calls. Those are up. I'm not selling for more upside, but where are more opportunities? I played AMD a couple days ago, and I even said that in my video that AMD has potential for more upside. I played Amazon a little bit here and there. Google I played last week, so I don't see big opportunities on a big name like Microsoft. I mean, look at this. It's not even going under 500. So new money long, there is no money, and bears are just pathetic. They cannot get this market down like $5-10. We get $2 pullback, maybe the $4 pullback, especially in futures market. By 4 a.m. it's gone. So you tell me. I mean, what to trade and what to make out of that trade, especially when the market is doing this. Unless you're going trading penny stocks and just buying and scalping back and forth, that is not something that I do because that these kind of trades are not safe. And I do share my trade ideas with my Patreon group, and I don't want to trade these kind of stuff where you get in and get out, get in and get out, not even holding like 5 seconds, right? So market definitely with big names going up, no significant pullback. There is really, really not enough opportunities in this market, and that is why I'm just holding back, preserving my cash and keeping my cash for the next dip to buy whenever that comes. And if there are some opportunities, like I played 2 weeks ago, Baba calls, that thing paid, big time yesterday. I I actually played Baidu calls, Chinese sticker, and that thing also was up yesterday. Today sold off, so might even open a new position tomorrow. Yesterday sold and got out of that position on Baba and Baidu. It was a really nice play. We got a big move to the upside, and now, I mean, imagine you're playing Chinese stocks because these big names, there is no opportunities. All of them are up. Some of them are just about consolidating. So, I mean, you're not seeing any significant move to the downside. Market sitting at all-time high. Where are the opportunities, guys? You tell me. So here on Microsoft, 500 support right here, then 495 all the way down to 481. As long as it's over 500, guys, like I said, whales are targeting 510, and who knows, it might go to even 512 because upper Bollinger Band expanded all the way up to 512 right now on Microsoft. On Nvidia stock, it's at 0.39%, so another brand new all-time high, market cap going over $4 trillion, and this is the biggest and the baddest company on earth. And Jensen is doing with leather jacket, guys. I mean, this dude is just going back and forth, to White House and getting stuff done with Trump, and now they're shipping these chips to China. All that news came out, and it's just fantastic. Now this thing gapped up, so I think in near short term, Nvidia is definitely not tradable to the upside. If you can manage, it might come down, it might take some time, but I think potential for a pullback down to 160 is really high here on Nvidia, then going up to something like 180 or even 200. Now, I did say also before that whales are targeting 180, 170, 160 calls, and that was I think Roy here, guys. Roy here when I started talking about that. We went past all that, and now the next target, only target left, 180. So I think if this thing goes up and there is a slow grind, we can possibly get up to 180. But at some point, you're going to see minimum at 10% pullback on Nvidia. Now, shorting does not really work that well with Nvidia, but I think has the potential right now. It's about 80 to maybe even a 90% chance where you're gonna see, shorting Nvidia possibly will be profitable, but not by that much because I'm only expecting a move possibly down to like 160, maybe down here to 153. That's it for now. But if this thing holds up over the gap, that's not gonna happen anytime soon. It will possibly go up to 180. So two scenarios right here on Nvidia. This thing can continue, possibly a slow grind up to 180, and then we see a pullback to close this gap at 165 and close this gap at 160. These are going to be your downside targets. So it's sitting at 171. I mean, good $10, $11 will pay big time on Nvidia if this thing comes down. But going long for that 180 and buying at all-time high, I don't think this is a good trade location. So if you're going long, you gotta get out soon as it breaks under 168 immediately. Immediately. No holding under 168 top of this candle right here, guys. So Nvidia trading into blue skies, but I think a short-term pullback is imminent, and you're going to see that in near future. So Nvidia here, guys, especially if this thing remains over 170, it can push up to 180, but it's going to be a slow grind up. If it comes down, the first support to watch, that's going to be around 165, and the next one at 160. And that is all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching.